Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show where we take a stack of sources, dig into them, and pull out the absolute best bits of knowledge and insight for you.
And today we're doing something a bit different. We're focusing on just one source excerpts from Sali Hughes' book, Everything Is Washable and Other Life Lessons.
Right, it's packed with everything from home tips and style advice to, well, deeper thoughts on relationships, well-being, just navigating life's messy bits, really.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack that, pull out the practical wisdom, the clever hacks, maybe some perspective shifts that you can actually use.
We want this to feel less like reading a manual and more like getting those aha moments,
Yeah.
finding ways to make things a little easier.
A concentrated shot of useful insights,
Yeah.
basically, pulled from her experience.
Okay, let's dive in. We're starting, fittingly, at home, and the author, Sali Hughes, has some pretty strong opinions on furniture.
She really does. Her big thing is that old is usually better. She actually estimates about half her own furniture is pre-owned, and she wishes it was more.
That definitely cuts against the grain, doesn't it? The
Mhm.
push to always buy new. So why does she feel so strongly?
Quality, mainly. She reckons that vintage stuff, even mass-produced pieces from, say, the 60s or 70s, is consistently higher quality, more beautiful, and just sturdier than a lot of modern furniture, even the expensive luxury items.
And she has examples from the book, right, to back that up.
Oh, absolutely. Great stories. Like her 1970s leather Chesterfield sofa. She snagged it on eBay back in 2003 for just 136 sellers.
136 uplists.
Seriously. Yep. And since then, it's seen two babies born on it, been used as a climbing frame, a dog bed, hosted countless parties. And it's actually outlived two more expensive, newer sofas she bought later.
Wow, that's proper durability.
Exactly. Then there's her 1960s G-Plant cabinet, been in the family longer than her kids, and costs less than ordering a Deliveroo for four,
That puts it in perspective.
doesn't it? And she rescued this gorgeous Edwardian dressing table from a skip, just paid 45.5 for delivery. Her point is these older pieces just feel more solid, they have more soul.
So it's not just about being thrifty, it's the character, too.
Precisely. And she talks about the joy of it, finding these things, and feeling no guilt, neither financially nor environmentally.
So where does she suggest people look beyond just looking out with skips?
Well, eBay is the obvious one. She also mentions Etsy. She knows Etsy might have more professional sellers, maybe slightly higher prices sometimes, but often a really high-quality selection.
Okay, good tips. Let's move from big furniture to smaller details. What about something simple like candle care? Apparently there's a knack to it.
There really is, to get the most out of your candle. It's all about getting a clean, even burn. First step, always trim the wick to about 1/4 of an inch before lighting.
Okay, with scissors or...
Yeah, scissors work, or those angled wick trimmers.
Mhm.
And this is key only when the wax is cold and solid. Don't trim a hot, melty wick.
Got it. Cold wax trim. What else?
Keep it away from drafts, that's pretty standard. But the really crucial thing is letting the entire top layer of wax melt right to the edges before you blow it out.
Ah, the full melt pool. Why is that so important?
It stops that annoying tunneling,
Yeah.
where the wick
Yeah.
burns straight down the middle and leaves a ring of hard wax around the sides.
Yes, I hate when that happens.
Right. So for a standard single wick candle, she figures it takes maybe 30, 40 minutes for that top layer to fully melt. Do that, and it burns down evenly, uses all the wax. Simple, but makes a difference.
Definitely trying that. Okay, shifting gears a bit, but staying in the home, hiring a cleaner. This touches on practicality, but also some social stuff.
Ah, yes. She has very strong feelings here. She finds the judgment some people in the UK have about paying for cleaning held utterly ridiculous.
That is strong. What's behind it?
Well, she's seen both sides. She actually cleaned houses for money herself before she could afford to hire someone. So she finds it baffling that people sneer or get patronizing about outsourcing housework for fair pay, especially when we happily pay for Deliveroo or get someone to clean the car or use couriers or just expect partners to clean for free. It's inconsistent, she thinks.
So for her, it's just another service. Pay fairly, treat it professionally.
Exactly. And she gives practical tips. If you do hire someone, always pay a Christmas bonus. She suggests starting around 2 extra shifts' wages if you can manage it.
That's a nice touch.
And insurance. Really important. Check your home insurance. Does it cover damage caused by someone working there? You might need an amendment. And ask if your cleaner has their own personal indemnity insurance, just in case they injure themselves.
Very practical points wrapped in that social observation. I like that. Now, something relatable for many of us, losing keys. Any advice?
For the serial misplacers among us.
Yeah.
Simple stuff. Beyond the classic give a spare to a trusted neighbor, she suggests investing in Bluetooth trackers, like Tile.
Oh, those little things you attach.
Exactly. Key rings, cards for your wallet, little stickers for remotes or whatever you lose, they link to your phone, or even Alexa so you can ping them. She mentions keating out her whole family for about 40 pounds.
Honestly, 40 pounds versus that frantic searching feeling. Sounds worth it.
Definitely beats the stress.
Okay, let's pivot to something festive. Christmas tree decorating. She seems to have a specific philosophy here.
Oh, she does. She says she has an almost allergic aversion to those super tasteful, perfectly coordinated trees. You know, the ones with all matching baubles and ribbon themes.
Right, the Pinterest perfect one, so none of that in her house.
Absolutely not. She's all for a riot of clashing color and too many decorations, stuff collected over years. She feels Christmas is precisely the wrong time for restraint or good taste. It's about joy, history.
And sentimentality, that seems key.
It's the absolute heart of it for her. She has a special VIP box just for decorations her kids made at nursery or school. She says those would be among the first things she'd grab in a fire. Seeing them each year brings back memories. That's what matters.
That's really lovely. Okay, from festive joy to a pest. Moths protecting clothes.
Two main strategies from her experience. First, if you buy something precious cashmere, wool coat, silk dress, get it dry cleaned straight away. Apparently the chemicals deter moths for months.
Proactive dry cleaning. Interesting. What's the second method?
Moth killer cassettes in your wardrobes. She mentions Rent-O-Kill FM41 specifically. A pair covers about a cubic meter for 6 months. But, and this is crucial, you have to track the date you put them up. She swears moths know the exact minute they stop working and they'll be back.
Huh. Okay, track the date, good reminder. Sticking with home stuff, hanging pictures straight.
Simple trick. Use a spirit level, but focus on making the frame dead straight. Ignore wonky ceilings or floors. The picture itself needs to be level.
Right, level the frame, not the room. Makes sense.
Yeah. She also mentions command strips as an option, but says follow the instructions carefully and still use a level. And she adds a fun aside about sometimes just going for a massive, over-the-top, Mona Lisa-style gold decorative frame.
Yeah, why not? Any other little interior design rules she
It's
managed?
a small one she picked up. Unless things naturally come in pairs, like lamps flanking a sofa, arrangements generally look better in odd numbers, 3 candles, 5 cushions, that kind of thing.
Odd numbers. Interesting. Okay, domestic disaster time. The defrosted freezer. What's the cardinal rule?
The absolute don't even think about it rule is, do not just shut the door and hope everything refreezes. She tells a funny story about a useless boyfriend doing that. Generally, only peas and maybe other plain veg are safe to refreeze.
So what do you do with all that thawing food?
Get it all out. And then basically you have to cook and eat as much as you possibly can right away. She suggests challenging yourself, get creative with the ingredients, host what she calls the mother of all eating parties.
An eating party. I love turning a disaster into a feast.
Right. But before you panic cook everything, just double check it really defrosted. Squeeze something solid from the back as it's soft. And if it was only off for a few hours, like during a house move, she notes removal companies are often insured for freezer contents for up to 24 hours. So check that first.
Good point about the insurance. Okay, let's step outside. Garden furniture. She's got opinions here, too.
Strong ones. She really dislikes most new, expensive garden furniture. Finds it overpriced, often ugly, needs huge storage in winter. She thinks there's a real gap in the market for stuff that's durable, looks good, and doesn't cost the earth.
So what has worked for her?
Ironically, her best buys have been her cheapest. Some wirework sofas and chairs from John Lewis, around 100 pounds to 250 pounds, she says, and a simple 30-pound bistro set from Asda have lasted longest and looked best.
Sometimes the high street nails it.
It seems so. For garden stuff, in her experience. And for parties, especially if space is tight, she loves using big outdoor floor cushions and bean bags. From places like Amazon or HomeSense.
What's the appeal of those?
They're comfy, low down, so you don't need loads of tables. The covers are often water resistant and washable. They don't rust. And she finds it creates a really nice convivial vibe. Everyone just lounging around chatting.
That does sound relaxed. Okay, back inside for a very specific, almost magical tip. Getting Bureau ink out of fabric.
Yes. This is one of those standout washable lessons. The secret weapon, believe it or not, is alcohol hand sanitizer, gel or spray.
Wait, really? The stuff we all have loads of.
Exactly. Any clear, colorless sanitizer. Or hairspray works too, apparently, in a pinch. You put the stained item on a surface you don't mind marking, like an old towel, stained side up, then just saturate the ink mark with the sanitizer. Leave it a few minutes.
And then,
For most stains caught early, she says it just disappears, like magic. Then just chuck it in the washing machine as normal.
that is genuinely amazing. I'm remembering that one. What about washer dryers? They get such a bad rap.
They do, but she defends them. Says people who call them useless probably haven't lived in a small flat with no garden or space for two separate machines. For people in that situation, she calls them a godsend.
So the criticism isn't always fair. What's the real issue then?
User error, almost always, in her view. The absolute key thing to know, the non-negotiable rule, is a washer-dryer can only dry about half a left load it can wash.
Only half. Okay, that's crucial.
It is. If you wash a full load, then immediately hit the dry cycle for the whole lot, you'll get damp clothes, hours of ironing, you'll break the machine eventually, and it starts to smell truly awful, like Tuesday's sausage casserole, she says vividly. You have to follow the manual and dry it in batches.
Right, that explains a lot of the frustration. Batch drying. Okay, let's talk flowers bringing a bit of life inside.
She's a big fan of fresh flowers, but believes you don't need to spend a fortune. Loves cheap supermarket or greengrocer blooms, 99p daffodils, tulips, daisies, carnations.
Any tips on making them look good?
Yes, she thinks they look much better bought as single types and bunches, rather than those pre-mixed supermarket bouquets, which she finds a bit sparse and generic. 3 bunches of daffs for under 3 pounds, she argues, looks infinitely more elegant than a 10-pound mixed bunch.
So massed single flowers look better than a mix.
That's her take for the cheaper end.
Yeah.
Mixing colors of the same flower is fine, but a big vase full of just one type often has more impact. Proper florists do the mix arrangements best.
Good tip for budget blooms. And making them last.
2 simple things. 1, clean the vase properly. Bacteria makes them decay fast, not just a rinse, give it a good scrub. 2, strip off any leaves that will sit below the water line in the vase. They just rot and pollute the water, making it smelly and shortening the flower life.
Clean vase, no leaves in the water. Got it. Now, less pleasant house guest. Mice.
Ah, yes, her view is quite direct. If you see one mouse, maybe once every few months, and it disappears, well, you might get away with ignoring it.
But if it's more than an occasional visitor...
If you suspect you've got a family, a colony, she says, frankly, humane traps do not work. She learned the hard way. They come back, they multiply, they spread germs, they cause damage, chew wires, potential fire hazard.
So what's her advice, however difficult?
Grasp the nettle early. Use traditional traps or call pest control sooner rather than later. She argues it's ultimately less cruel because you kill fewer mice in the long run, and it's definitely less costly. She mentions her own 400-pound bill plus repairs after trying humane methods first. And then, crucially, you must find and block every single hole or cavity they could use to get back in. Mash, filler, whatever it takes.
A tough but necessary reality check, especially the safety aspect. Let's switch to something cozier, lighting a fire. Steps.
She lays it out clearly. Start with scrunched up balls of newspaper in the grate. Put fire lighters on top. If you're using them, they help but aren't essential. Then build a sort of crisscross structure over them with about 10 or 12 small, dry sticks of kindling.
Newspaper, firelighters, kindling structure, then what?
Then, if you have them from a previous fire, put those reusable embers, the sort of clumpy solid bits on top of the kindling. They get hot fast and really help the fire catch properly.
Okay, sounds like a solid method. What about essential tools or items she thinks everyone should have around the house?
A few key things. Pliers, 2 pairs are useful. Long nose for fiddly jobs, slip joint for bigger things. She points out the handles are often as useful as the noses for gripping stuff.
Pliers, okay. What else?
A lint roller. Super quick way to make clothes, sofas, whatever, look instantly smarter and cleaner. A decent torch, essential for power cuts, finding the stopcock under the sink, rescuing dropped earrings. She specifically mentions Maglite as being quite literally brilliant.
And there's one item she seems almost reverential about.
WD-40. She says her stepdaughter and brothers taught her to practically worship it. Calls this multi-use spray almost magic. When asked what it's for, her answer is basically, how long have you got? Suggests it solve endless problems.
Huh. The universal fix-it spray. What about books? Lots of us have too many. Her take.
She thinks people, especially book lovers, need to be a bit more ruthless. Permit yourself to let some go, even with a sentimental attachment. She loves books, has loads, but acknowledges the practicalities of space mean you just can't keep everything forever.
A tough one for bookrooms. Okay, let's talk interior style again. She has a bit of a bugbear about hiding everyday items.
Yeah, she prefaces it by saying personal taste is personal taste. She doesn't want to dictate. But she'd admits she finds the trend of hiding mundane things slightly baffling, as if they're shameful.
Like what sort of thing?
Hiding the TV in a cabinet, decanting washing up liquid into a fancy pump bottle, having guest towels you never use, hiding the loo rolls away, putting marmalade or Marmite into different jars.
Right?
She argues these things are just part of normal life. They're universal. Why pretend they don't exist? She feels it stems from an odd idea that actually living in your house, the practicalities of it, is somehow unstylish or a bit below stairs and common.
That's a really interesting link she makes between decor trends and attitudes about domesticity.
Yeah, like hiding VHS tapes in fake book spines back in the day. A similar kind of denial, maybe.
Let's head into the kitchen now. Basic cooking kit and skills she thinks are essential.
Equipment-wise, a glass Pyrex measuring jug and a silicone spatula, especially good for non-stick pans. Knives. If space or budget is tight, focus on 3 key ones. A good cook's or chef's knife, a paring knife for small jobs, and a serrated knife for bread and tomatoes. And the absolute key, keep them sharp.
Sharp knives are safer knives too. What about a fundamental recipe or technique?
She shares a surprisingly simple way to make a white sauce avoids lumps, apparently. Put everything butter, flour, cold milk in a cold pan together, then just whisk continuously over a low-medium heat until it thickens. Season at the end.
Cold milk. Interesting. Risotto?
Fry celery and garlic gently first. Don't brown them. Add flavorings like porcini mushrooms or thyme. Use stock. She likes a mix of sieved porcini stock and veg stock, adding it bit by bit, stirring.
Any kitchen luxuries she rates?
A boiling water tap. She mentions cooker. Calls it a huge extravagance, but says now she'd rather sell her jewelry than be without it. Massive time saver for pasta, stock, instant mash, anything needing boiling water fast.
High praise for a tap. Roasting a chicken, her method.
Rub it with water or oil. She actually prefers water for crispier skin. Salt the skin well. Skewer it lengthways with a metal skewer. Cook for 15 minutes per pound, plus an extra 20 minutes overall. Baste it halfway through. Check it's done by poking the thigh joint juices should run hot and clear, no pink.
And gravy.
Use the pan juices, scrape up the burnt bits, add flour to make a paste, cook that paste for a minute, then whisk in stock gradually. And her secret weapon for flavor and color? Marmite, or Geo Watkins mushroom ketchup as an alternative.
Marmite in gravy. Intriguing. Essential herbs or spices.
Coriander dried is fine, added early, but fresh stirred in at the end adds amazing brightness. Chinese 5-spice instant flavor boost, great with soy sauce, and that Marmite or mushroom ketchup again for savory depth.
Pantry staples she relies on.
Dried pasta, usually better than supermarket fresh unless it's properly handmade. Rice, cheap, versatile, essential. Noodles quick for stir-fries, soups, ramen.
And a specific dish she finds really useful and forgiving.
Dried dal lentils. Calls them an essential convenience food, especially for non-meat eaters. Very forgiving. She makes a big batch monthly, boils lentils with a chili, separately fries mustard, cumin seeds, onions, spices, then blisses the cooked lentils, water and chili included, adds lemon juice, and stirs the fried onion mix through.
Sounds like a great base for meals. Okay, quick drink tips. Champagne opening. Chilling wine fast.
Champagne. Key is twist the bottle, not the cork. Like opening a jam jar, use a tea towel over the cork if you're nervous or need grip.
Twist the bottle. Got it. Chillin' wine quickly.
Tip she got from a Claridge's waiter. Bottle in a bucket or bowl. Fill with iced water. Water transfers cold much faster than just air in the freezer. Add an ice pack if you have one. Put it outside if it's cold out. Drinkable in 20-30 minutes.
Iced water bath. Faster and won't freeze the wine. Lastly, for the kitchen, carbonara keys.
Okay, key points. Beat egg yolks with Parmesan or Pecorino. Scoop out some starchy pasta water before you drain the pasta. Then move the spaghetti straight from its cooking water into the pan with the bacon. Don't drain it meticulously, you want some of that starchy water. Toss it all together off the heat. The residual heat and starchy water create the creamy sauce.
Right, don't overdrain the pasta. Okay, let's switch lanes entirely now, style and shopping. That old rule about not mixing metals, jewelry, bag, hardware.
She totally challenges that.
Yeah.
Says gold and silver are basically neutrals. You absolutely can mix them. In fact, she thinks it often looks better mixed, but ideally in multiples, like a stack of mixed metal bracelets or several ear piercings with different metals.
So intentional mixing looks better than just one random piece.
Exactly. The only time she thinks matching matters is if the metal is a really dominant feature on a plain outfit, like a huge belt buckle or massive hoops. Then maybe matching looks more considered. Or find an item like two-tone earrings that deliberately incorporates both.
Makes sense. What about secondhand shopping? Any strategies for bagging bargains?
Her main strategy is, don't chase current trends when buying pre-loved. Those its items will be scarce and overpriced. The real deals are on classic pieces, good basics, or things that were trendy maybe a season or two ago. She tells a great story about buying a Burberry trench on eBay for £70 back in 2003 when nobody wanted them. Wore it loads. Then years later, when they became super trendy again, thanks to bloggers, she sold it for nearly 5 times what she paid.
Huh. Proof that classics pay off. Any other tips for buying secondhand?
She mentions Brexit means you might get hit with customs charges now, which can kill the bargain. Always look for discount codes or flash sales on the selling sites. And always use PayPal if you can. The buyer protection is solid. She's had refunds when things went wrong.
Good practical advice. And selling your own stuff?
Be meticulous with photos. Show linings, pockets, labels. Crucially, photograph any FLAWs clearly. Show shoe soles. Be totally honest. Never lie. Never use someone else's photos. Copyright. Good feedback is everything. For auctions, start low. It sounds weird, but starting too high can put people off. You might end up getting less. If you need a specific price, use buy it now.
Really useful tips for decluttering the wardrobe. Now, personal style more broadly, she warns about influencers.
Yeah, she cautions against getting too swept up in following fashion influencers. Says there's a real danger you can end up erasing your own natural style.
Did that happen to her?
It did, for a bit. She tried adopting that minimalist Scandi look she saw online, but just felt bland and boring. Realized she needed her own touches, a statement earring, bright lipstick, glittery socks, whatever, to feel like her. Your own taste, your quirks, that's what gives you a signature look. Her main point. Don't buy something you don't truly love just because it looks great on someone else.
Trust your gut. Let's talk jeans. Is there one fit she thinks is generally most flattering?
Generally, yes. High rise. She thinks they work best for most women. They hit the narrowest part of your waist, create a smoother line, feel kind of secure and contained, and give the illusion of longer legs.
Any exceptions?
Mid-rise can be good if you have a really short torso and long legs. But low-rise, she finds them rarely flattering and pretty impractical period bloat or just after lunch. And crucially, unlike leg length, you can't alter the rise. So get that right first time.
Right, the rise is fixed. What about that common thing of buying clothes to slim into?
Oh, she's very firm on this. No, no, no. Her line is brilliant. Don't pay hard-earned money to tell you you're fat every time you look in your wardrobe.
Ouch! Buy for the body you have now.
Exactly. You deserve clothes that fit and make you feel good now. And if something needs altering, only buy it if you'll genuinely alter it yourself immediately, or take it to a seamstress within, say, 2 weeks. Otherwise, walk away. It'll just languish unworn.
Good rule. Where does she suggest saving money, clothing-wise? Where is it okay to not splurge?
Jeans, for one.
Right.
High street denim can be amazing. She mentions Weekday and other stories. Gap, Arket, H&M. Designer jeans often end up in sales or on resale sites anyway. Knitwear, too. Moths love expensive sweaters just as much. And honestly, if it's natural fibers, she finds little difference between high street and designer quality. Says Uniqlo and M&S cashmere are often better than pricier options.
Any accessories where you can save?
Scarves. A relatively cheap way to totally change an outfit, add color, texture, personality. Keep a couple of good ones on hand. She treats herself to one each winter.
What about bags? Splurge or save?
Here, she thinks quality matters. Real leather, or good vegan leather, makes a difference to how smart you look. Suggests black, tan, navy is versatile. Feels around 150 pounds gets you decent quality from brands like Whistles, All Saints, Jigsaw, Arket, etc. Avoid obvious logos unless it's a true classic house. But again, Pre-Loved is your friend here. She got a gorgeous navy bag on eBay for 18 pounds that rivaled her expensive Celine. A good bag lasts years, gets better with age, you wear it daily. So choose based on your actual needs and how much faff you can tolerate, not just fleeting trends.
Needs and practicality over trends for bags. Okay, quick tip, shortening jeans.
Crop styles made it less of an issue, but if you need to, she suggests the same technique as trimming a fringe. Snip upwards into the denim edge rather than straight across. Less likely to look wonky.
Cutting up, got it. And pregnancy wear, 2 essentials.
Yes. 2 stretchy t-shirts, long or short sleeve, depending on season, with high elastine content. They give support and don't stretch out permanently. And a high-waisted stretchy skirt. Super versatile midi pencil and useful after birth for feeding access too.
Smart choices that adapt. Dress codes can be confusing. Does she break down the common ones?
She does. Cocktail or cruise. Think party dress or smart trousers and a nice top. Men in evening suits. Sparkles, statement jewelry encouraged. Smart shoes, corporate suits usually. Or maybe a smart blazer over a dress for women. Very well groomed. Neat hair, subtle makeup. Smart shoes always, never troners.
Weddings.
Best to ask the couple, especially if it's a different culture or religion. She notes sometimes you get specific themes like all white or even cappuccino. Yes, really. It's your call whether you comply with something unusual or, frankly, a bit naff.
And just casual.
Comfy, practical, but not sloppy. Jeans, trainers, tees, sweats, as long as they're not actually sweaty.
Mm,
Key is still looking clean and put together. Relaxed, but presentable.
good guidelines. Okay, watches. Are the expensive ones worth it?
Depends entirely if it's worth it to you. Expensive is relative, right? You can get a great, reliable watch for £100. Swiss craftsmanship is obviously top tier if you value that. But her really strong belief is buy from a company that primarily makes watches, not a fashion brand doing watches as a sideline.
That applies across the board.
Absolutely. She gives examples. Choose Casio over Accessorize, Swatch over Ted Baker, Timex over DKNY, Oris over Gucci, Rolex over Chanel. It's about the watchmaker's specific expertise and reputation.
That's a really clear, practical rule of thumb. Now, something vital for many women, bra fitting. She has a key insight here.
A huge one. She strongly believes the vast majority of women are wearing bras with cups that are too small and bands that are too big.
Really? Why is that so common?
People confuse band size, the measurement around your ribs, with cup size, the volume of breast tissue. Big boobs don't automatically mean a big band size. She herself was a G cup, but a 30 band. Small boobs don't mean a small band. You can be a 38 AA. Stop guessing based on assumptions or what you read. Her advice: get professionally fitted in a proper lingerie shop or department store. It makes an instant difference to how you look and feel in clothes.
Genuinely sounds like life-changing advice for many. What about high street shopping generally? Any observations?
Interesting point she makes. Retailers seem to largely ignore older women, say 40 plus. Even though this group often has money to spend and wants to look good, she feels they're really underserved. Argues they could be the answer to some retailers' financial woes if they were catered to properly.
Missed opportunity. How about sale shopping? Avoiding buyer's remorse.
Two key questions to ask yourself. One, would you still really want this and buy it if it were full price? Yeah. If not, step away. Two, what existing item in your wardrobe will you stop wearing to make space for this new thing? Does it actually add value?
Good reality checks, wardrobe organizing, getting rid of stuff.
Keep in A-rail the stuff you actually wear all the time. Analyze why you love those pieces. The cut, color, fabric, comfort. That helps you understand your style and shop smarter. For the rest, sell it, gift it, donate it. Charity shops, apps like Depop, Vinted, eBay, Thrift Plus, things that are too worn or damaged. Garment recycling bins. And she's firm on this. Bin any damaged, stained, ill-fitting underwear, socks, tights. You deserve better.
Respect yourself from the base layer up. Good point. Swimwear and tights.
Swimwear. Choose based on support, comfort, and what flatters your body. Forget trends if they don't work for you. Confidence is key. Tights. Ignore fashion editors declaring them over. They're useful workhorses for so many people if you feel the cold, don't like showing skin, whatever. And please don't shout things like, "Aren't you hot?" at people wearing them.
Here, here. Practicality wins. Okay, last style point. Back to handbags and trends.
Following fashion is fine if you enjoy it and can afford it. But understand the difference between a fleeting trend and your actual needs and preferences. She tried trendy top handles, fiddly satchels, clutches. Realized they just didn't work for her life. Her preference is a roomy crossbody. It suits her needs. Her advice: figure out what you realistically carry, how much impracticality you can tolerate, and choose based on that. To hell with fashion.
Needs and tolerance. Sounds sensible. Okay, let's shift focus now to well-being, self-care. Starting with something small that she found made a big difference.
Yeah, a really simple decision, she says, hugely changed her life. Charging her phone overnight in a different room.
Just that. Why such an impact?
It created a phone-free zone in the evening. No constant pings, buzzes, flashes. She admits she loves her phone, but this boundary let her poor, overworked synapses actually rest. It's not about giving it up entirely, just setting reasonable limits for some headspace.
Small change, big mental return. What about dealing with anxiety? She offers a really interesting perspective.
This is quite profound, I think. When anxiety hits, recognize that the thing you're anxious about, the problem, the decision, the person probably isn't causing the anxiety right now in this minute. What's causing it in this minute is you thinking about the thing.
So it's the thoughts themselves that are the immediate issue.
Yes. The actual threat likely isn't present. Your thoughts are making it feel immediate. That adrenaline rush feels real, like a bus is coming, but it's just chemicals triggered by the thought. And realistically, the situation probably won't change overnight anyway. In that moment, the distress comes from the internal thought loop.
That's a powerful way to reframe it, make it feel more internally manageable. Health now. Breast self-checks. What's the main point according to the source?
The initial goal isn't hunting for cancer. It's getting to know what's normal for your breasts, their usual lumpiness, texture. That baseline knowledge is what helps you spot any changes later.
And the method she describes.
Stand in front of a mirror, clothes off, look straight ahead. Check shape, size, contour, skin texture, color. Compare them, they won't be identical. Look for anything unusual. Redness, puckering, flaking, dimpling, skin like orange peel. Then turn side on and check again visually.
Know your normal first. Okay. Managing drinking, she talks about a checking in moment.
Yes, that fleeting moment. Maybe you're in the loo at a party and you just realize, okay, things have shifted a bit. I'm getting a bit too drunk. Her old self might ignore that. Her new self is grateful for the warning and stops drinking alcohol for an hour.
Does that mean go home?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Stay, switch to soft drinks, have fun. Just use that hour to consciously bring yourself back from the brink. Then, if she feels like it later, she might have another alcoholic drink. It's about avoiding that awful next day regret.
Pulling back before it's too late, smart. And hangover management, her 5 pillars.
Water, salts, carbs, protein, sugar. Miss any one of those, she says, and the entire day collapses into a pit of despair.
Huh. Okay, the 5 essentials. And immediate steps when you get home after drinking.
Pint of water, straight away. Clean your teeth no matter how tired or drunk. She insists it's vital for making tomorrow less grim. And if you're prone to being sick, put a towel over your pillowcase in a big bowl by the bed. She reckons doing that strangely makes it less likely you'll actually need them.
The psychological power of preparedness. What about cosmetic stuff like Botox? Any warnings?
Very clear advice. Be ready to pay properly because all very cheap Botox is bad.
Why is cheap necessarily bad?
Because the actual licensed chemicals, maintaining a sterile environment, proper equipment, liability insurance, it all costs money for responsible practitioners. If someone's offering Botox for 50 pounds, corners must have been cut somewhere. And that's a risk you don't want to take with your face. It's unfair there's a cost barrier, she acknowledges. But it's your face. If not seeing a registered doctor, consider big chains with infrastructure, like Superdrug, Skin Renew, or SKN. Always check qualifications, BCM, GMC. Look at their before and afters, see if their style matches what you want.
Really important safety advice there. Quick beauty tip, trimming your own fringe.
For touch-ups only, she stresses, not a full haircut. Golden rule. Clean, DRY hair. Never cut it wet or damp, it shrinks as it dries. You'll end up uneven.
Dry hair. Got it.
Clip the rest back. Gather the fringe into one flat section, about an inch wide, center forehead. Clamp it between flat fingers or a clip, about 1 centimeter from the ends. Then, using your sharpest scissors, cut up into the tips, vertically, not straight across. Release, comb, check, knead it shorter. Nudge your fingers up only 0.5 centimeter and repeat. Same method for kids' fringes too.
Cut up into the ends. Key detail. Insomnia. Any magic cures.
She mentions melatonin works for some, but maybe not regularly. Her least stressful tactic. Decide not to try and sleep. Just aim to rest quietly. Takes the pressure off, which ironically often helps you drift off.
What goes through her mind on sleepless nights?
All sorts. Replaying mistakes, regrets, thinking about lost loved ones, mentally doing the supermarket order, wondering where her son's blazer is, having brilliant writing ideas she'll forget by morning. She calls herself a natural night owl.
Relatable. Skincare for the eye area. Tips.
Crucial for makeup application and preventing melia, those little white bumps. First, gentle exfoliation. Liquid exfoliant, or just a hot flannel used in soft circles, no dragging. Buffs away flakes.
And applying products.
Massage them in properly. Products need to absorb, especially around the eyes where melia can form. If your face cream feels too heavy there, switch to a specific, thinner eye cream. Ridley Work serums, creams in before makeup or bed.
Gentle exfoliation, proper massage, good reminders, tattoo aftercare.
New tattoo. Get that cellophane wrap off as soon as you're home. Gently rinse the tattoo with clear, lukewarm water. Pat it dry with a clean towel, never rub.
Moisturizing.
Light layer of something bland and fragrance-free. Simple, CeraVe or nappy ointment like Bepanthen works well. 3 or 4 times a day. Keep it lubricated but not wet or greasy. And don't bother buying the expensive tattoo creams they sell at the studio.
Keep it simple, clean, lightly moisturized. The tattoo process itself, choosing an artist.
Follow artists on Instagram. Check their style. Find someone you love. Book an appointment. Wait for good ones. That's a good sign. Give them an idea of theme, size, placement beforehand. Send reference images.
But don't ask them to just copy something?
Absolutely not. That's insulting, unethical, and you miss out on their artistry. A good artist interprets your idea into their style. Don't just point at a flash sheet like a menu. Try to relax during tensing makes it hurt more. And impose a cool-off period afterwards. The adrenaline makes you want another one straight away. Go home, calm down, plan properly.
Give it time, don't rush the next one. Let's talk about the aging body realities.
She's candid. Harder to lose weight quickly. Hangovers last longer, maybe wiping out half the week, more headaches, needing bigger font sizes, makeup challenges, like eyeliner on looser lids. Her advice is embrace smudgier looks, feeling the age gap between a gym class and yoga.
Any upsides?
Cheekily suggests male partners over 40 often can't tell the difference between sizes anyway. And more seriously, she regrets being so harsh about her younger body. Urges others not to waste time doing that.
A mix of pragmatism and self-compassion. How does she view failure?
As the most powerful way to learn lessons. An opportunity to reassess what you want and build confidence from picking yourself up. Don't try to avoid failure. See it as an inevitable opportunity to learn and adjust. She contrasts people broken by failure with those who make the best of it. Says she can only be really close to the latter friends who've messed up, but learned, adapted, vowed to do better.
Failure as a learning tool, not an endpoint. Powerful. What about boredom and mindfulness?
She argues mindfulness is essential for happiness. If you're constantly distracted seeking stimulation, you can't enjoy the now. Obsessively chasing excitement means neglecting the life you have.
And boredom itself.
Boring is beautiful, she says. A sublime state of grace. A day off with no plans, no demands, is good for the soul. She questions the relentless scheduling of kids today, thinks it stops them developing imaginative self-reliance born from crashing boredom. Calls mastering boredom as vital as the 3 R's.
Boring is beautiful. That's definitely food for thought. Okay, moving into relationships, social life, starting with saying no. Simple but hard.
Exactly. Kids do it easily. Adults get trained out of it. It's hard to unlearn, but essential. And your no doesn't need a long explanation. The conversation is effectively over in one syllable.
Just no. Seems blunt.
It can be. Add sorry if it helps you, she suggests. But the justification isn't required. The barrier is often fear of not being liked. But truth is, not everyone will like you anyway. That doesn't make you unpleasant. It's about boundaries.
Liberating, in a way. What about taking a compliment? Responses to avoid.
Oh, the classic self-deprecating replies. Oh, I feel so scruffy. Have you seen this bit, though? Pointing out a flaw. Ugh, worn it loads. It was dirt cheap. Oh, really? I think I look awful. Just don't do those.
Just say thank you.
Pretty much. Accept it gracefully.
Online negativity trolls. Her take.
People acting in bad faith online, their goal is just to get a reaction. It's tempting to write that massive point-by-point rebuttal. But her insight is, the only winner there is the aggressor. They got your attention, maybe an audience. Don't respond. Let their fire burn out. Feels frustrating now, she says, but fantastic in the morning that you didn't bite.
Starve them of oxygen. Okay, career stuff. Asking for a pay rise. Practical approach.
Very pragmatic. Your boss doesn't care about your bills, your car breaking down, your childcare costs. Harsh, but true.
So what do you focus on?
Your value to the business.
Yeah.
Specifically, what duties do you do that aren't strictly in your job description? How have you saved them company money or brought money in? What added value do you bring that would cost them more to replace? Build a forensic, dispassionate case. Show you're working for the figure you're asking for. Be prepared to negotiate, but go in armed with facts about your contribution.
Business case, not personal plea. Got it. Public speaking, that common fear.
She totally gets it. Shares a story about wanting to fake illness before speaking at the Oxford Union. Her general view: if something scares you that much, you should probably do it.
How did she manage that specific scary talk?
Ended up rewriting her speech on a Muji receipt. Then someone said something reductive that made her furious, and that anger actually helped her push past the nerves. She mentions other specific things she did too. Key takeaway seems to be practice, find your own coping mechanisms, push through.
Maybe harness a bit of righteous anger, dealing with unwanted gifts.
She admits she prefers giving to receiving, used to hide unwanted things away, her old way.
And now?
Now she usually includes a gift receipt when giving and receiving. She thinks polite honesty is better than letting something gather dust. Thank them sincerely, acknowledge the kindness, but gently explain why it doesn't quite work. Similar item, wrong size, color preference. Then politely suggest an exchange or credit note would be really useful.
Kind honesty beats pretending. Tax bills, especially scary ones for freelancers.
Absolutely crucial advice. If you get a tax bill that seems wrong or just way too big to pay, contact the tax office, AT1CE, immediately.
Don't bury your head in the sand.
Definitely not. Ignoring them means they get annoyed, they get less reasonable when they inevitably catch up with you, and they will catch up, and they'll be far less able or willing to help you work out a manageable payment plan. Face it head on.
Sound advice, big topic, buying a home, mortgages.
She shares her own perspective for her. After years renting, homeownership brought vital stability and security, though she notes it's not the universal obsession everywhere like it is in the UK.
Does she address the rent versus buy cost comparison?
Yes, crucially, rent looks more expensive monthly sometimes, but she stresses factoring in all the hidden buying costs. Stamp duty, conveyancing, surveys, mortgage fees can be up to 7% of the price, plus estate agent fees when selling, maybe $5K for initial furnishings, council tax, water bills. Don't just compare rent versus mortgage payment in isolation. And when offering a price, base it on what similar local properties actually sold for, not the asking price. And always get a good conveyancing solicitor. They spot issues you wouldn't and handle the money side.
Very thorough breakdown of the real costs. Okay, switching mood, party playlists, length.
Long enough to start before guests arrive and still be going at sunrise. Avoid repeating tracks too soon. She jokes, it reminds people of their mortality. With a super long list, repeating artists is fine, just maybe not within the same hour.
Long journey playlists or alternatives.
If traveling with someone who likes quiet, respect that. Make a friend of silence, especially if they're driving. Otherwise, podcast if you can concentrate. Or make your own fun. Service station CDs and beat the intro, Google quizzes for the driver, and absolutely stop for snacks. Essential conspiratorial pleasure of road trip junk food.
Road trip snacks are sacred. Deeper topic now. Love versus friendship.
She really questions the one idea, calls it fatalistic balls, had a realization that her true love of her life isn't her partner but her friends. Told her partner this, and he just said, your friends, obviously.
Friendship is the primary relationship.
She sees friendship as the A-road of life, the main reliable route. Romantic relationships are the twisty, often perilous lanes you detour onto sometimes. Friends are her chosen family, her support network, especially those core friends who notice subtle shifts, help in crises, forgive mistakes, offer support back.
A really strong validation of friendship. What about age gaps in relationships?
Feels smaller the older you both are. Big gaps involving teens she finds repellent. For adults, it's less about the years, more about being at the same life stage.
Life stage, meaning?
Are you aligned on big things? Wanting kids, buying a house, travel style, energy levels for socializing. A big age difference doesn't matter if you're in sync there. Yeah, but if one wants quiet nights and the other wants to party constantly, or one loves hiking holidays and the other beach lounging, that mismatch will cause problems unless you're happy doing things separately.
Compatibility of life stage, not just age. Makes sense. Family involvement in relationships, often overlooked.
Hugely overlooked before marriage, she thinks. You're not just marrying the person, you're marrying their whole family dynamic. Could be daily visits from the mother-in-law, expected family holidays, mandatory Sunday lunches, everyone having keys, opinions on everything. What's normal for one family is intolerable intrusion for another. And those dynamics are really hard to change once you're married in. Her advice: get crystal clear with your partner about what you can and can't handle regarding family involvement before you tie the knot with the mob.
Have that awkward conversation early, supporting a friend going through IVF.
She points out fertility struggles are incredibly complex, emotional, varied. A common mistake, even well-intentioned, is offering advice.
Why is advice unhelpful here?
Because someone deep in IVF knows way more than you do. They've researched, seen specialists. They don't need your tips. What they do need is a safe haven. Someone to just listen, be present, witness their experience without adding more noise or unhelpful suggestions.
Witnessing, not advising. Important distinction. Dating now. Ghosting. Her thoughts.
Finds it infuriating. Believes it stems from an arrogant assumption by the ghoster that the other person must be desperate for marriage babies and too fragile to handle rejection.
But that's often wrong.
Totally. Often, the person being ghosted was just in a let's see what happens phase, not planning the wedding. They're not the desperate single stereotype. She also wonders why men who allegedly fear commitment sometimes drop love bombs early on, maybe hoping to fake it till they make it.
Interesting psychological angle. Choosing godparents.
If your main reason is potential guardianship, you must discuss that thoroughly with them and blood relatives. Make detailed provisions in your will, finances, domestic stuff to avoid disputes later. Otherwise, choose someone you genuinely want in your child's life forever. Trust is key. People might lose touch, but if chosen well, they'll likely keep a door open if needed later.
Practical planning and emotional connection. Responding to serious illness or death, what helps?
Drawing on her own losses. She says, you don't really know what to say until you've needed to hear it. Her suggested baseline response. This is absolutely awful, and I am so bloody sorry you're having to go through it. Simple, honest empathy.
And what definitely not to say?
No silver linings. No fate or everything happens for a reason. No comparing it to your dead hamster. And assume the bereaved person does have needs, even if they don't ask. Offer specific, practical help. Can I bring dinner Tuesday? Not vague offers.
Empathy and practical support. Identifying controlling relationships.
Having seen loved ones escape coercive control, she stresses the victim's journey is long and heartbreaking. Loved ones often see it first, from the outside.
What are those early signs?
Can start small. Anxiety about photos online, censoring texts because partner reads them, canceling plans suddenly to be with partner, abrupt exits after phone calls, guilt-tripping questions, partner vetting outfits, makeup, storming out as a test, then escalates. Financial control, loans in victim's name, controlling everyday things like Wi-Fi passwords, heating, car insurance, bank access, ring-fencing their life.
What can friends, family do?
It's agonizingly hard. Keep gently saying, this is not normal. Wait patiently for the victim to see it. Be ready to be a human crash mat when they hopefully leave. Keep reminding them of reality, even if it feels like nagging. Just stand by, hoping they find the strength to jump.
A powerful description of that difficult supportive role. Final relationship point. Christmas after divorce.
Acknowledges it's super stressful, emotional, especially for kids. Recalls a solicitor telling her family courts get jammed with parents arguing over Christmas Day logistics, which seems mad given other issues.
The key takeaway for separated parents.
It's not about you. Christmas matters most to the kids. However unfair arrangements feel, their happiness is the priority. Everything else is just tinsel. Practical solutions exist without lawyers.
Focus on the kids, the rest is decoration. Good perspective. Okay, that covers a massive amount on home, style, relationships. Let's wrap with some broader life philosophy from the book. What does she consider her most unexpected achievement?
Simply becoming a functioning adult. Having come from a chaotic background, financial insecurity, utilities cut off, food scarcity, she expected to be terrible at managing practical life. So just being a capable adult feels like a huge, unexpected win.
Achievement born from adversity, camping or festival essentials, any must-haves.
Microfiber towel, small, absorbent, maybe Apple AirTags for finding your tent, earplugs, debit card, plus some cash, not loads, sunglasses, not precious ones, essential meds plus painkillers, cystitis relief, Imodium in a waterproof bag, parking ticket bought in advance, what not to bring. A playsuit hem inevitably dips in Florwee.
Avoid the Florwee. Practical camping wisdom. Password system.
Clever method. A unique prefix for each site plus a memorable personal key. Example, prefix 80 Mayday for Amazon plus key 83AD. Marge, password 83AD. Marge, each password unique and complex, but you only remember the key and the rules.
Smart. Avoids needing a password manager if you can remember the key. She revisits saying no later.
Yes, just reiterates it's a vital life skill, often takes decades to really master because we're conditioned against it.
What about self-sufficiency, the satisfaction of practical skills?
Yes, that extremely satisfying knowledge you get from knowing how to change a plug, replace a fuse, cook a proper roast with good gravy. Feels like you could probably survive on a desert island by utilizing the well-planned contents of our handbag.
Practical skills is empowerment, snooping, phone hacking, etc.
Absolutely against it. Crosses a Rubicon, never ends well. Having experienced it, she knows the violation the victim feels, how everything gets twisted, love dies instantly, still hates people even picking up her phone. Privacy is fundamental.
Strong stance on respecting boundaries. There's a beautiful quote about grief.
Like a storm, grief is real and terrifying, but mercifully ephemeral. It trashes everything in its way, but leaves behind a stillness.
Evocative, her take on dry January.
Pretty blunt quote. I wouldn't dream of jumping on the dry January bandwagon at the very time when a comforting glass of wine is not so much a vice as a medical imperative.
So not a fan. January blues, generally.
Acknowledges terms like Blue Monday, SAD are medically recognized, notes UK suicide rates peak then. While not putting herself in that serious category, she gets why people struggle post-Christmas.
Recognizes the reality for many. She also shared a very personal experience with abortion.
Yes, very candidly. Had one at 19. Not due to extreme circumstances, just foolishness and being messed up, unable to cope. considers it one of the most responsible decisions she ever made.
Responsible. How so?
Pride in choosing not to bring a child into her chaos then. Relief it allowed her to build a stable life first for herself and her future children. Felt shaken afterwards, but wiser and grateful for the clinic's kindness. Practical advice included, too. Contact BPA-SGP clinic early. UK law allows up to 24 weeks, but acting fast means a home medical termination before 10 weeks might be possible, avoiding travel, clinics, protesters, etc.
A brave and important perspective. Loneliness and postnatal depression.
Describes feeling horribly isolated after her first child. Friends stopped inviting her out. Stayed in PJs, overate, felt jealous, pretended to her husband she was fine.
And it got worse.
Yes, extreme paranoia set in fears of being mugged, burgled, husband dying. Cried constantly in private, facade in public. Recovery started with therapy, then a million small steps. Opening curtains, short walks, deleting shopping app details. Most crucial. Saying aloud, I am completely bloody mad and I can no longer cope. Admits how hard and shaming that felt, but sees it as the opposite of bad parenting. Prioritizing her own well-being was heroic mothering, more vital than organic purees.
That admission, I can no longer cope, sounds like the critical turning point. Useful things to screenshot.
Cloakroom dry cleaning tickets, post office tracking receipts, wiring diagrams, e-tickets, COVID passes, work offline, taxi license numbers, WhatsApp to a friend.
Practical screenshot uses. Credit cards and debt.
Tactical advice. If your credit's okay, get a 0% balance transfer card, longest term possible. Transfer all interest-charging debt onto it. Then hide the physical card. Keep it away from your purse computer. Maybe give it to someone trusted. Use it only to pay off debt interest-free, not for new spending.
Smart debt management tool. Avoiding spoilers. Her view.
It's a bit controversial. Wonders why spoilers upset people who weren't engaged enough to catch up in a timely manner.
Thinks the onus is on the viewer.
Basically, yeah. Says it's not everyone else's job to wait for your schedule. Your priorities aren't the rest of the country's business.
Definitely challenges spoiler culture. Cooking Christmas dinner.
If you can cook a Sunday roast, you can do Christmas. Admits she's never on time, doesn't care, my graft, my pace, doesn't make stuff she doesn't like, buys bread sauce. Recalls making lasagna one year. Sees cooking as a potential safe haven from tricky relatives. Just hide in the kitchen.
Cooking as a strategic retreat. Quote about being fancied as you age.
You may realize that being fancied has gradually become much less important, and it will feel quite brilliant.
Love that. Estrangement from family.
Shares her own long estrangement. Learned from running a support group that outsider reactions are consistently unhelpful. Stock phrases like, it's so sad. Can it be fixed? You'll regret it when they're dead. But I love my parents. Are painful. People assume you're stubborn, unforgiving, not nice because they can't imagine it.
Highlights the lack of understanding often faced. Sex in long-term relationships.
Stresses its importance for connection, different from friends' kids. Plus, makes you more forgiving of annoyances. Hard to be furious when you've recently been given head, she says frankly. Encourages prioritizing it, even if not initially in the mood, rarely regret it afterwards, usually feel relieved, glad you did. Warns against letting occasion sex become fatally occasional.
Very frank and relatable. Lastly, cohabiting.
Lived with 4 boyfriends before her partner, believes in try before you buy, thinks the 2-home courtship phase has a shelf life.
Why does it get old?
The constant bag lugging, forgetting things, feeling out of place, searching for stuff, minor irritations like how they hang the loo roll. When that stuff starts genuinely annoying you, she reckons that's the time to seriously consider pooling resources and moving in together.
The annoyance threshold. Okay, wow. We have covered so much ground in this deep dive. Home hacks, style, complex emotions, finances, relationships.
It really shows the sheer range in this book, doesn't it? And these aren't rigid rules, are they? They're her perspectives, her lived experiences, offered up to make you think, make your own choices.
Yeah, there's definitely a theme of practical self-reliance, but also challenging assumptions, finding confidence even in the messy bits.
Absolutely. It's about empowerment through knowing stuff, how to fix things, how to navigate situations, but also accepting that life isn't perfect and that's okay.
So reflecting on all these lessons from Everything Is Washable, here's a final thought for you to chew on. What if failure isn't the disaster we're taught to fear, but actually an inevitable, maybe even powerful opportunity, a chance to learn, regroup, and build resilience?
Think about what resonated most with you from our chat today. Was it a specific practical tip, a fresh angle on a relationship issue, or maybe a broader shift in perspective, like seeing the beauty in boredom or finding strength in failure?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We really hope you found some valuable nuggets to take away.